What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. So yesterday, we know what happened. Obviously, there was the match, Italy versus Argentina, for a trophy that really doesn't matter. We know what happened. Italy was embarrassed. One of those players leading that was Di Maria, who led an onslaught against the Azzurri. But one thing we can say is we knew that there were reports that there was a meeting between Cherubini and the entourage of Di Maria. What happened with that? Do we have it? Here we go. Stick with us. This edition of the news will fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it's June 2nd, 2022. It's a Thursday, and of course I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about each and every day. Before we do that, let's go ahead and make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. And if you feel so inclined, go ahead right now on Twitter and go follow me at Justin Sofro, and of course at the Bianconeri Zone as well. Now let's just dive into it. What news do we have for you in today's setup? Well, first up, we have to talk about Paul Pogba and that situation going on there. Romeo Agresti gives his 2 cents on the matter, saying that Pogba is 1 step away from joining Juventus. Okay. I'm going to touch on this quickly. That's what she said. The issue with not Paul Pogba. There's a set of words that I'm getting sick of hearing. As a fan, as a guy who has to report this stuff to you, I get sick of hearing the terms 1 step away. Whose steps are we talking about? Whose stride is it that is 1 step away? Is this a Shaq step? Is it Yao Ming? This may be these might be guys that you don't even know what I'm talking about. It's NBA. They're large dudes. Whatever. If you want to go biblical, you want me to go biblical on your ass? Let's say this. Is it Goliath? Is it David and Goliath? There you go. I went biblical. That's what we did today. What steps are we saying? Stop saying 1 step away. 1 step away means tomorrow. It means it'll be the next report I'm hearing out of your mouth is that it's a done deal. That's what 1 step away means. I don't want to hear, and I understand it's what you have to do. You got to stay relevant in the news, and I'm not saying this about Romeo Agresti, and I apologize, Romeo Agresti. He's not the guy who's the habitual line stepper in this motion. There's a lot of guys that say, Romeo Agresti, he only reports when there's something to report. He's quiet most of the time. But this is the one that set me off just because I'm so sick of hearing 1 step away. Is it 1 step away, or there's still a lot of convoluted meetings that we have to get going on? This is not just involving Pogba. This goes for Di Maria. This now goes for Kostic. There's a report today that says Kostic is 1 step away. I don't think you know what that means. You're saying it, but I don't think you know what it means. Okay, rant time over. Let's move on. Pogba has confided to close friends that he wants to return to Turin. Negotiations in the details. So there's your Pogba news of the day. It could happen soon. Is it done yet? No. Once again, still not completed. We'll see when it happens. But, I mean, for all intents and purposes, Pogba will be a Juve player. Real quick, soapbox time. And we're going to do a new section, a new segment on this channel. We're going to be doing hot takes every once in a while. I got a hot take for you right now. Here's my opinion. And I understand it's part of living in the era of social media. With what we have here with Pogba, with all the news that can be so easily transferred, or bad news that can be easily disseminated throughout the unwashed masses, if you will. My issue is this. All the news, all the buildup with Paul Pogba has been going on for so long that I'm starting to get this feeling that this era of good feelings, this good whatever it is, the goodwill that you'd be getting from the fans and purchasing him, similarly to the Locatelli one last year, I want to say that's kind of fading away. And what I'm trying to say is, if I'm Juventus, yeah, bringing in Paul Pogba it would be a massive get. It would be a massive positive situation for the club, for the fans, for all those who love those times with Paul Pogba before. But the problem is the longer it's drawn out in this nonsense, they can't get a deal done, they can't whatever, the reports that keep coming out, those associated. There is a little bit of it that is, and I'm not trying to put it on Juventus by any means. I understand deals get done, people have to work on things in the background, but there is a little bit of it that does kind of take away of some of the positivity of making the deal, of making the signing. Does that make sense? I also wonder, to me, I feel like now there has to be a part 2 of this. I understand there's going to be a lot of gets in this Mercado. I don't know that all of them are going to be like big splash, injection of, adrenaline, excitement to the club. I feel like you got to have a second piece of that now because Paul Pogba's kind of lost the luster a little bit, given, all the news has come out that, PSG have dropped out, United are not in the race, whatever. So it's just like, okay, at this point, all he has is Juve. So it kind of loses a bit of its luster of, oh, he's coming back. Oh, yeah, let's celebrate it because we haven't been able to celebrate it. Give me the here we go. Give me whatever we need to do. At this point, I think whoever it is that's working behind the scenes, I understand there's different little numbers that are being worked out, whatever it is that deals that has to get done. But the issue with it is the longer this goes on, the longer you're losing that positivity, the good feelings from the fans. And I feel like you're trying to buy yourself, especially after 2 lackluster seasons in a row, finally getting bringing the, prodigal son back to Juventus. It's not what it could have been if this deal could have gotten done quicker and under better circumstances, I guess. Does that make sense? That's my feeling on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Back into the news, though. Let's actually talk news. And yeah, I had to take a deep breath because I start talking and I just run. All right, continue on. Romeo Gresti has some other comments to make, talking about Di Maria and that situation, saying Di Maria, Juve, there have been no setbacks. The operation has not blown up. The player would like 8 million euros net per year, but for only 1 year of contract, you cannot take advantage of the Decreto Crescita. The Bianconeri would want to obtain a rather substantial discount. The parties will surely talk to each other again. From what I understand, Di Maria still gives Juve the priority. I'll follow that up, though, and so I don't rant on another one, solitary one for, however long I went for that one. Is this one from Nico Schietta, who's saying, in order to sign a 1 year only deal, Juventus offer 5.5 million euros plus bonuses. He cannot take advantage of the growth decree. Otherwise, a 2 year deal at 7 million euros would be offered to Di Maria. Di Maria at the moment is firm on his position of signing a 1 year deal. New meetings in the next days. Somebody's going to have to give, and somebody's going to need to make up their freaking mind. And that's where we sit right now with this. Is somebody has to make up their mind. Who's going to be the one that's going to be more likely to give? Is it Juve? And, giving him the money that he wants, the 7 million for one season, or are they going to stick with the 5.5 plus bonuses? That's where I need to see. Or is it Di Maria who will, commit to going for 2 seasons? I tend to lean toward Juventus will be the one to give in. So at this point, I'm kind of like, I'm not trying to act like, like I said, I'm not spending their money. And I understand they're trying to take care of the deal, but like maybe, is there a way to meet halfway in this? Because I feel like all the vibes, I hate using the term vibes. It bothers me. I understand it's a modern thing. I'm an old man now. But when it comes to that, the feeling I get from this is that Di Maria is pretty intent on, and this is going to be a take that we're going to talk about in the lives and stuff like that. So make sure you tune in later. We might have an After Dark tonight. But the situation with Di Maria being that he really wants to, I just want to play in the World Cup. That's what I get from him. That's the feeling I get from him. Is that's what he cares about. That's where all of his effort and steam and whatever is going to. I'm not saying that he's not going to put in an effort for Juventus when he plays for the club, but there is part of me that wonders how much is he going to give us all. And how much is he going to, we talked about it, potentially drop off. And I know Alejandro's full on. He's buying all the Di Maria hype. He believes in him 100%. There's a part of me that still wonders. I've seen plenty of players not give their all for Juve. That paycheck's looking mighty nice, when Dybala's getting it. And he's just sitting there on the bench. He's good. Oh, I got injured. Oh, I can't do this. Sorry, guys. And now he's going to injure. And I understand this is two vastly different situations. But what I'm saying is I'm not going to... Maybe I'm a pessimist now in this situation where I sit back and I don't know what I believe in when it comes to somebody actually giving their all for the club, because I've seen too many players not lay it on the line. They just, they shut down and they quit. So we'll see what happens with Di Maria. Again, I'm not trying to be negative on Di Maria, even though I definitely was. I know it was. But at the same time, we'll see what happens. All right. Moving on, though, we got to talk about the striker situation. More news breaking out there with Tuto Sports saying that they're looking for more options when it comes to Dusan Vlahovic's backup. Now some big-time names that really could maybe get some of you excited out there. Juventus' main plan remains to buy back Morata at a discount, but the Bianconeri are also thinking about Chelsea's Timo Werner The German striker is expected to leave the Blues this summer, but there is no shortage of competition, and the price tag will have to be assessed. One thing I can say, too, obviously that's an interesting name. We know he had a lot of hype here in recent years. The one thing I'd say also, though, is how many Chelsea players are Juve going to be linked to in this Mercado? Is it like the easy go-to one to link them because of the situations going on, with their new ownership? Jorginho, Rudiger earlier. Now it's Timo Werner. We also had Pulisic for a day and a half. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how much we really buy into Timo Werner, but we do know there will be a lot of competition for him. So I don't know that I fully bought in on the Juve is going to get in on this one train. Continuing on with this, Gabriel Jesus remains Cherubini's big dream. He's been a club target for years, but it'll not be easy to get him from City. Obviously, we know he brings a lot to the table. He's a very good striker, but at the same time, it's going to be very expensive. So we'll see. It's been going on for so long about the rumors with Gabriel Jesus that I just kind of tend to sit back and be like, I'll believe it when I see it. So I don't really like to go too much into him because it's just one that keeps coming up, but nothing really seems to be substantiated about him and his links with the club. Now we'll talk about the defender situation. Obviously, you need to replace Chiellini, and it's going to be a big, important move that they could potentially make in the summer. And if they don't do it, well, we'll see. Right now, Tuttosport are reporting saying that Juventus continue their pursuit of a defensive reinforcement. Koulibaly is threatening Gabriel. For the Senegalese, there would have to be an agreement with Napoli, who values the player at 40 million euros. Similar price for the Brazilian from Arsenal. There have already been some contacts with the club. The Bianconeri are aiming at an exchange with Artur. In the list of defenders, the candidatures of Fiorentina's Igor and Leipzig's Gvardiol also hold out. Not really going to touch on them too much. What I will say is it's kind of surprising that it's not the Fiorentina name is Igor and not, of course, the likes of Milinkovic, who would be a cheaper option, or at least a cheaper option compared to the likes of Koulibaly and Gabriel. I still think of the two options, I think Gabriel is more likely to be the one because you can work out the deal with Artur, a swap, whatever have you. When it comes to Koulibaly, obviously he's a very talented player and be a great get for the club. But the problem with him is I just do not see De Laurentiis coming to the table with Juventus and doing a great, getting a good kind of deal, a good shake from him, a good situation to try to set up a deal with him. I just don't see it happening. I've said this, I've run myself ragged with these comments in the past, but again, if Torino and Cairo have their issues, and Lotito and Lazio, what would make me think that De Laurentiis would be a better man to sit down with, right? All right. Let's continue on. Now we have Molina. We're going to talk about him, the right back situation, what's going on there. Tuttosport with more news. They were just writing up articles today, basically saying that a right back is still possible for Allegri, though there's some not so great news, or maybe great, depending on who you are. I would imagine or hope that most people would say it's not great. But that Molina is getting closer. This is not what I'm referring to, okay? Just calm down. We'll get to it in a sec. Molina is getting closer to Juventus. With Udinese, the contacts have been started for some time, and a first big step forward in the negotiations was made in the London summit between Cherubini and the Pozzo family. There is willingness and desire to reason in order to find an agreement. Even if there is distance from the economic point of view, Udinese value the Argentine fullback at about 25 to 30 million euros. There's a competition from Atletico Madrid to beat, but the feeling is that the Bianconeri can reach an agreement with the club and the player. So, I'm not trying to say this is a negative thing. Obviously, Molina is a solid player, but a little bit disappointed that this isn't a bit more heavy on the Udogi side of talking about bringing in Udogi to the club to bring him into Juventus. But fine, Molina could be a good option. The reason I'm hesitating on this is because of the next story we're talking about. Maybe there's a chance they could get a deal done, but the problem is there's one giant barrier. When I say a giant barrier, it's not a giant barrier, but it's a 2-seasoner that you're signing and that I guess is done, and that could be blocking him, especially when you look at other players you're going to sort out money with. If you have to sell Pellegrini or whoever to bring in a left back, and you're stuck with Alexandro, what makes me think that if you're going to retain somebody else at the right back position, that you'd go all in on Molina right now, right? Let's just go ahead and get to that news. That news right now is Romeo Grassi, who is confirming that De Sciglio has signed the renewal with Juventus. The official announcement will come in the coming days. You know what that means, guys. Everybody Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Everybody good? Here we go! We got a here we go, guys. Fire up the live machine. We're going live. Talk about a here we go. De Sciglio renewal. 2 more seasons. Let me fade out real quick. Okay. There you go. So that's why I don't truly believe in the Molina reports, because if De Sciglio signed on for 2 more seasons, what makes me think that they're going to go invest in Molina right now when you have a player in that position? So that's why I'm sitting at that right now. You got your first here we go of the Mercado. It's Mattia De Sciglio, who's staying until 2025. And I imagine my other co-hosts here at the Bianconeri Zone are currently they're not on here to do the daily video with me, because they're both curled up in balls crying in bed right now. All right, let's continue the final news story of the day, and that's we're flippy floppy today. That's what we're doing. We're flippy floppy from 2 days ago, back and forth and back and forth, and here we are once again. Romeo Guidetti coming up and saying this, talking about Demiral and his situation at Atalanta, saying the situation Demiral, a month ago I would have given the deal for sure. Today there are some signs of a break between Atalanta and the player. So go back 2 days to my report 2 days ago, or me reading the reports, and that's where we back are. Yesterday was a calm down. They're actually going to buy him because Premier League and La Liga are interested in him. 2 days before that, it was he's coming back to Juve. And now we're back to he's coming back to Juve. So there's the situation as it sits right now. He could potentially be coming back to Juve. Will they end up utilizing him? Will they sell him? What's going to go on from there? We'll worry about all that when it comes, when it gets to us. For right now, especially because I might be on here tomorrow reading that Tottenham and Paratici really want Demiral, and that might be what it is. Actually, I'm predicting that. That's what I'm predicting. Not tomorrow, but I'm going to predict sometime in the near future, if it's a confirmed that Atalanta or actually, I guess it doesn't have to confirm either way. If they end up buying him, it could still be them, because that's obviously how it worked out before. So we'll just keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste your time with a lot more Demiral talk. Anyway, that'll do it for the news as it stands at this moment today. Will we have a here we go coming soon? Will we have anything to do that? Keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you're following Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, so that way you get those updates. Follow me at Justin Sofer on Twitter. Make sure you hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. But we'll keep you updated. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Forza Juve. Forza Bianconeri.